In this lesson, we're working on standard 4.nf.5, equivalent fractions of tenths and hundredths, and then using those tenths and hundredths to do addition. Okay, so let's start with the fractions here. Let's say we have 3/10, and we want to make that equivalent to hundredths. Okay, we know to make tenths equivalent to hundredths. At this point we should know there are 10 groups of 10 in 100, so to simply change tenths to hundredths, we multiply denominator by 10. 10 times 10 is 100, and again back to that equivalent fraction rule. To keep everything equivalent, keep everything equal, we must do the same to the numerator as we do to the denominator. So to make tenths equivalent to hundredths, multiply top and bottom by 10. So 3 times 10 is 30. So therefore 3/10 is equivalent to 30 hundredths. Let's try with 7/10. Again, to make it equivalent to hundredths, we would multiply top and bottom by 10. And 10 times 10 is 100, 7 times 10 is 70. Or we can simply see that anytime we're working with 10, we're just basically adding a 0 to the end. So to make 3/10 equivalent to hundredths, we start off with, let's just say 4/10, for example. If we're starting off with 4/10, to make it equivalent to hundredths, we're just adding zeros. 0 on the top and 0 on the bottom. 4/10 is equivalent to 40 hundredths. Alright, so and then we can do the same skill when we're working backwards. If we're going to be changing hundredths to tenths, if we have 90 hundredths, we want to make that equivalent to tenths. How do we go from 100 to 10? We divide by 10. We do the opposite operation. So 90 divided by 10 is 9. So now instead of adding a 0, we're taking away a 0. So for example, if we have 80 hundredths, we want to make that equivalent to tenths. We're simply canceling out these two zeros. So that makes it equivalent to 8/10. Okay, just a little simple lesson on making tenths and hundredths equivalent. But then we want to use that skill when we're doing addition of unlike tenths and hundredths. Okay, so if we have the equation, we'll say 3/10 plus 4 hundredths. Okay, again, we have unlike denominators, so we can't do that. But what we could simply do is, because we know that to make tenths equivalent to hundredths, all we have to do is add a 0, top and bottom. So now we could see, oh, now we have hundredths and hundredths, and now we could add that together, and we would get 34 hundredths, because we know that 3/10 is equivalent to 30 hundredths. Because how do we make 3/10 equivalent to hundredths? We simply multiply top and bottom by 10. 10 times 10 is 100. 3 times 10 is 30. So 3/10 is the same as 30 hundredths. So anytime we're doing addition of unlike tenths and hundredths, we can quickly change that tenths fraction to hundredths and do our simple addition. Just do one more example. Let's say if we have 6/10 plus 8 hundredths. Again, we would have to do something. We have tenths and hundredths, we have unlike denominators. We can change this to hundredths, and we can do that by simply adding a 0 top and bottom. And now we have 68 hundredths. And of course we want to put that in simplest form. If it allows us to do so, we could divide top and bottom by 2. We could actually divide. Greatest common factor would be 4. So 68 divided by 4 would be 17/25. So doing the skill of adding tenths and hundredths is really simple when you know that basic rule of changing the tenths to hundredths. We're simply, anytime we're working with tens, we're just adding a 0 to the top and the bottom, and that makes the addition of the equation